Blitzers, Nerf Clan, welcome back to the channel. The Leopard 1, the mighty Leopard 1. What a tank. The other day in the video I said that the best offensive weapon in the game is the AMX 50B, but to be honest, there may not be a better offensive weapon than the incredible Leopard 1. Tier 10, German, famous tank, real tank, was actually one of the main battle tanks in Germany post World War II. Let's do a review of the tank. And I have two amazing games, both from Europe, that highlight the capabilities of the tank. So the Leopard 1 is, as I said, a very strong offensive weapon. It is a medium. I strongly recommend running the protective kit because you will catch fire often and under many ways. The HP is 1850. Actually, it's very good HP overall, given it's a medium. And in a great view range, 304 meters. It's a great spotter. A lot like a light. This is arguably a light tank, or almost like a light tank. Looking at the firepower, the 3621 with pin of 255 in your AP, damage alpha of 350, device crew 150 if you are using calibrated shells. If you use a rammer, I probably would calibrate. And the reason you want to calibrate is the pen. You don't really need the pen on the AP. 268 is not that critical, but on the heat, you get 330 heat pen, which will help you shoot the cheeks of the mouse and the E100. And the DPM is still very, very good at AP DPM of 3367 when you calibrate. So calibration here would probably be the way I would go, but I think could be user's choice. What a cannon. This is one of arguably the best cannons in the game. 1921 velocity. It is a laser. The only thing you do note is there is some pen loss over distance, so I would recommend you supercharge. I have not noticed that being a problem overall. Gun handling is very good at 1.83 base aim time, 0.248 dispersion. Doesn't get much better or any better than that. And then dispersion factors with moving are also exceptionally good. -9, +20. I wish it was -10. -9 is good enough. And then the tank is fast as hell. 65 top speed, 23 back, which is great. And you also see that it's effective on most terrain types. Great power to weights there. Very, very fast traverse. Now, the armor of the Leopard 1 is a challenge. Your goal with the Leo 1 is really not to get HE. The HE is the problem. And right there you see even the upper plate is around 120, lower plate 104. That's when head on. But it's got a great gun management. So if you can not be hauled down, if you can hide your hull and only show your turret, you may get a bounce or two. But again, your turret will not bounce. Your turret is 100 millimeters on the sides if you're lucky. So you could still, by the big TDs, they'll easily be able to HE you or certainly pen you anywhere. The sides are made of cardboard. So angling doesn't matter. Aiming that, what your goal is with this tank is not to be shot and to find positions that won't get you shot. And you'll see these two examples that you have. And so the key thing is you cannot rely on this armor at any part, anywhere to do anything. Let's jump into the replays. Okay, our first replay here is by Silent Ali. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We are in Rockfield and he is driving the Leopard 1 with some terrific camo, must be a great player. The European players, it's hard to get stats on, but these are both of our battles are by terrific players. These are 8K damage games. Right there and there, you notice that spot he used. I actually started using that spot with meds after watching the Black Eagle from Rain, using it a couple of times very effectively against me. So he right away uses that 304 plus feet, and then he goes off. You know, again, you can use the Leopard 1. You should use the Leopard 1. Much like a light, whereas you're constantly relocating. It's not a positional fighter that you take a hill and you just hide without, because you cannot bounce shots. So you will get your turret just absolutely annihilated, even if you're behind a hill, or if you pop and shoot, you will get hit as well. Now he literally repositioned, and as you see, is immediately poking and punching holes in that Kranwagen. Now he went to the ACAP. I think he was planning to snipe. The Leopard 1 is arguably one of the best sniping tanks in the entire game. It's got -9 gun depression too, so sniping from a lot of awkward positions can just help you. But he realizes quickly that their enemy is split, so he is relocating yet again, and he sees a T-62A. Now, you know, I will say for many new players, the Leopard 1 was one of my first tier 10 mediums. The mistake you make is brawling with this tank. It can brawl. I mean, it's got 3,300 DPM. Blah, blah, blah. It's got terrific pen. You can brawl with this thing. The problem is you will bleed so much in the process that you have no chance. You got terrific alpha. You got good HE pen too, which we talked about briefly. And watch him work this E3 over. And he chooses to work the E3 in the Foch because they're not looking at him, and he can get good shots. So look at this reverse side scrape there. 403 roll there on the alpha with using HE. And then he's able to use the insane mobility of this tank to reposition and get into the side of the Foch and the E3. Boom, E3 gone. You got like a 5-second reload, another 350 alpha into the rear of that. I would have shot that for sure with HE, but he did not. Better play than me more than likely, so who am I to talk? Now, that little move there, that little juke move there, you guys may not have noticed it, may not have been a big deal. It was a huge deal. It threw the Foch off. And the Foch and a lot of other TDs lose their dispersion when they move. And I think that little move is a move that you can make with the Leo 1 because you just don't want to get shot. And look at the hit points at this point. Now, he's at 3,000 damage. He's going to do about 5K more. And the reason for it is his teammates haven't done enough damage. And he's got a full, just about full, damage VK 90. So I don't know why the VK chose not to engage him. I think he was trying to, in which he does here, to get rid of the team E100, which the E100 did a good enough job, I guess, of just getting out of there. But when you got a tank like this, all you have to do is farm, and this guy's essentially doing a kind of a COD. He clears him. The E100 does go down, but by clearing that nearly full health VK 90, that keeps hope alive because this game does not. It looks pretty bleak. Now the good thing is nobody capped here. Maybe in the EU they don't cap. I wish that was the case here. But you can see there we got a Death Star here that's 3/4 full of health. Quickly, look at the dispersion. You were shooting at 250 meters, and that is not a difficult shot to make. Now, 212, that they still have a full health or nearly full health E100, and a T62A that is you just don't want to deal with. T62As are very tough for the Leo to deal with. Nice roll there, by the way, max roll, I think. And the reason for it is the 62A is a better brawler. It's got better armor. It's got a terrific turret. It can side hug. But so what happened there is actually quite interesting is the two killed each other. Our amigo here helped get that done. He's at 5 kills and 6,000 damage. So right now my palms would be sweating thinking of how I'm going to choke and screw this battle up. What I would have done here is capped my way out and just taken the victory. However, I think it was a good decision here by our friend here to go ahead and work on C, get the cap. Side note, by the way, when you move, it's a little harder to disappear, but it doesn't matter. To use your camo net, but he's probably not using a camo net, I hope, so that doesn't really matter as much. Anyway, but he is going to go poke out this E100. He could easily run away from this E100 and caps A. So I think the decision here is just driven by his hit point pool. Quickly tries to shoot the top of the turret there of the E100, does not get that shot, but you can see he can land those, and he's using the -9 Guide depression to get in angles. Now the E100 is probably thinking what to do here, but I think this guy realized quickly that the E100 is not a very good player, not as good as him. Takes a 707 shot. Like I said, if you get shot with this tank, you're pretty much going to get hit. But he just uses the mobility to confuse the E100. The E100 does not have the fastest traverse. And he's basically doing a COD on him. And this E100 in particular is not responding to this very well. He gets another shot into him. Hit points are already going. Now, look at the speed of this, and this is the difference. I mean, you got massive acceleration here. A great idea to track him. The E100 is trying to push him into something just so he can stop getting COD'd, but this guy's just pumping him with 3,500-ish DPM and just finishing him off. Made it look easy. 8,296 damage, 6 kills. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. 2,106 base XP. Congratulations to Silent Ailey. That is literally not much better. It could be done much better. I don't know how you play that better. He took the whole team apart. All right, now we are to Marquitas playing Winter Malinovka. And Marquitas also using the I'm a badass camo here. That's the platinum lead camo. Marquitas does here what I think is a very good idea with the Leo. Again, good spotting. Just get your lower plate over so you can spot those guys. Spot both the 54E1 and the Bat Chat. He got spotted in the process, but they got 23 kph reverse. You can get out of that as long as you're not overextended. So he quickly spots the enemy team and sees that they are probably split. The meds are over at A. No surprise here. He's got three at A with him, but he doesn't know how many tanks they have. He's getting nice shots into this M160. He has no business doing what he was doing there, backing up like that. And he's using the bush to get maximum coverage. The camo on the tank is okay. It's pretty good. It's a medium tank, but it's not a light. It doesn't have light tank camo or TD, obviously. So you can't just be too crazy with it. I think too many people think that this is a light, or they think it's a brawling medium. It's neither. It's somewhere in between. The Leopard 1's identity is that it's you know, if you play the CDC, the Tier 8 CDC, there's a lot of similarities to me there. CDC may even be faster, but you're not a light that you can just go wild and fly around, but you're not a medium that you can just hide behind hills. What he's doing here is about is sniping. I mean, he is 250 meters away from that M60. And he's using just basically this amazing cannon, one of the best cannons in the game, to just get to pump alpha out of this tank. And he's using that the WZ-121 as a distraction, and he's going to be able to go in there and work. Now, the good news is that play worked really well. They cleared 2 tanks. Everything looks good. The problem is for Marquitas here is that the rest of his teammates aren't doing anything, and the heavies already lost 2, and they didn't cause a lot of damage. So there's a lot of work left to be done here. So he quickly tracks his Jag, gets behind him. This is like, how to fuck a TD over 101. But he does it very well, and he sustained very little damage here. And so he and the Batjack clear this. Overall here, you still have more than 1,000 damage. And it gets a little tricky, though, because, he's going to have to bleed. When you go to the C-cap of Winter Malinovka, there's just not a lot of room to maneuver for a medium. And they have dug in. They do have the point lead, and it is right now looking relatively good. It's a 5-on-4. They have a 200-point lead. Until you realize there's a there's a mouse that's 3/4 full, an E100 that's very full. Lots and lots and lots of work to be done here. There's also a VK72 is going to cause a lot of problems. But he is pounding the E100, and again, an E100 is a great tank to beat the hell out of with a Leopard 1, just because you can work around it really, really easy. And the E100 armor, as Gent is always reminding those in our Discord server, is shit. It's obviously not truly shit, but it is just not particularly good. And the Leopard 1 can pound through it, again, especially if you're calibrating, probably if you're not either. Now, nice shot into that Batchat. He was trying to clear the Batchat, couldn't do it. It's 3-on-3 here. Now, we notice they've capped 2 bases, and there comes the Mouse. The Mouse still has 1,900 hit points. Nice shot into him. The Mouse gets a shot into Marquitas, and he is starting to bleed. Now, the Mouse is not as fun of a target for me playing the E100. The Mouse's armor is very good. And every angle just screws you up with the Mouse. Just a little angle there. Marquitas is a very good player. He knew to switch to the turret on that versus the hull. The hull would not have penned based on the angle the turret did. Terrific play. And look at him hug the Mouse. The guy is trying to squeeze him. Almost succeeded there. But the great cannon there clears the Mouse. And now it's a 3-on-2. But the problem is, while it's a 3-on-2, is there's a T95 on Marquitas' team who's doing literally nothing. And that T95 you can see on the mini-map all the way to the left near their spawn. So it's really a 2-on-2. It's not a 3-on-2. And they have a Batchat and a 700 hit point VK72, and Marquitas is unfortunately down to a 1-shot to this VK72. Now, I think this is some terrific gameplay. Marquitas, homie, you did this about as well as they can. Watch him track this VK72 and just get out of there with enough time. Now, the Batchat's coming too, so it's now 2-on-2. I think the VK95 is actually AFK. He double tracks the VK72, uses the insane DPM, and clears him before he can get the gun around. Then, watch this, takes 1 hit from the Batchat, speeds up and rams, or doesn't even ram him, just shoots and kills the Batchat. He had to do that. The Batchat could have cleared him. Brilliant move. Forget the T95. 6 kills, 8,301 damage. Again, just about as good of a game as you can. And I just think both of these players really showed us how to play these tanks, how to conserve them. Get this tank. It is amazing, but play it right. Please subscribe to the channel.